Dear Miss Netta, honestly, when I say Dear Miss Netta, I'm not really talking to Miss Netta. I'm talking to the people who keep platforming Miss Netta. We need to talk quickly.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
Miss Netta, Miss Netta, Miss Netta, Miss Netta. Let me say this. I have seen the recent conversations about Miss Netta after her TikTok live about white women being more smarter than black women, and black folks are always the ones arguing with me, misgendering me, da da da, saying all these disgusting things about me. And people are up in uproar. Miss Netta, she's anti-black, she's this and that, she's the raccoon. All of these things, like, people are like jumping on Miss Netta like heavy, heavy, heavy. And they're doing it because it's easy. It's easy. I asked this question for those who are so concerned about the things that Miss Netta has said in her TikTok live. Who is she persuading? What power does Miss Netta have? I ask you, what power does Miss Netta have in this trash logic? What power does she have besides the power that we keep giving her as far as platforming her, keep giving her more visibility? What do you all think she is doing with this power? Like, is she making moves? Like, is she legislation being passed? Is she persuading people? Like, what is it? Because you all have platformed Miss Netta based off of her looks. Like, every comment, everything, every meme has been about Miss Netta's looks, like Miss Netta's gender. Y'all have deconstructed her so much that I'm not surprised that she's responding like this. Like, she was a person that was posting videos of her cooking. I see people post videos in the cooking all the time. What made Miss Netta special? It's because we were questioning her gender. What is she? What is this? What is it? Why does she look like this? To the point that she was able to get endorsements and deals, quote unquote, from brands that were supposed to make her look better. Like, oh, she needs a makeover. I've already done a video discussing these things, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it out loud until you all understand, till we understand that the reason why y'all do not like Miss Netta and her comments is because of desirability. And I'm not one of those folks on TikTok that's just saying it with a cute voice and, oh, desirability, desire capital. I'm saying this because y'all are disgusted by her. Y'all look at her as grotesque. And how dare you look like this and think like this? When there are several other folks who have said very disparaging things about black folks. 50 Cent, for example, has been saying trash stuff about black women for so long. Like, there are whole other black men who have been responsible for abuse to black women, and I'm not seeing this type of commentary. I am always concerned when folks are not able to stay on message. When we're talking about Miss Netta and her anti-black language and all of these things, why are we not staying on topic of the actual things that she's saying? The ideology is something that we should be discussing, but yet no one is really hyper fixating on that. It is just, you look like this, you ugly, da 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 da. It's like, okay, girl, so if we're going by this logic, so what about the people who do benefit from the politics of desire? When they say discussing, disparaging things about black folks, are y'all reprimanding them as hard? No, you're not. You're not doing it. I don't see it. I don't see it. So therefore, I don't really care what Miss Netta is saying on her TikTok live. Yes, it is idiotic. Yes, it is harmful. But how harmful we're talking? Like, on this TikTok live, like, what is it persuading legislation to be passed? Like, what is going on? Like, what is the real thing that Miss Netta is doing that is so detriment that we have to stop it? What is it? Like, what is Miss Netta doing that it's like, y'all, we need to stop? What is Miss Netta doing? Because the only reason why you all were platforming her to begin with is because the way she looks. Like, y'all were not platforming her because y'all liked her spirit. Y'all liked the what's name. We were questioning her gender, her looks, her everything. And people have joined into the commentary because it's easy to do so. Like, I enjoy T.S. Madison, love T.S. Madison. The commentary that she has said about Miss Netta and her co-hosts have been trash. Have been trash. Like, and I have this question. It's no shade, but you know, even if your co-host is engaging in transphobic language, that is still your responsibility to stop them or stop them being around you. I'm so sorry. Like, nobody's sitting next to me on any of my platforms or anything and saying things like this. And I also, as much as I really care about T.S. Madison, this is like the second person that you have had as a co-host or whatever you shared the platform with that has engaged in this type of rhetoric while next to you. Kaya was the last person who did it. I'm not understanding. Like, I don't care if you old school, new school, you don't understand the genders and all this other stuff, and this ain't how we used to do it, and fish this and that. Y'all got to let that go. Y'all got to let it go, because the same system that you're using to beat Miss Netta up is the same system that come. I don't care how much money you donated to this action organization or any of that. Like, that does not matter. Like, that is, philanthropy is one of the things that billionaires and millionaires do to be able to continuously be billionaires and millionaires and be unethical people. Like, oh, they use that. It works for them. Not saying T.S. Madison does that, but you cannot say I give, because if you're giving and also speaking in a way that is harmful, what are you actually doing when it's actually canceling it out? What is it? What does it mean? The ideology has to change. We have to change. We have to change. I have to keep saying that. Like, I'm tired of saying it. Yes, people have messaged me and said, have you seen what Miss Netta has said? Da, da, da. Like, there are whole other YouTubers and podcasters who have said very disparaging things about black women, black folks, who y'all still are engaging with and watching and ready for them to go live each and every week. I am so confused why y'all are so mad at Miss Netta. Like, do y'all not enjoy this type of rhetoric? I thought y'all did. I thought y'all liked elitist conversations, and I thought y'all loved this type of thing. We're consuming the content. I see it on TikTok all the time. Like, I'm confused. Like, I ask again, what is Miss Netta doing? Because easily you could just block her and not consume any more of the content, but y'all can't. Y'all can't because you're fascinated with this. And it's easy for you to pick and feel powerful with trashing this undesirable black person. Like, it's easy. She's a dark skinned, thin presenting, maybe like, this is what's going on. Like, oh, this is easy. It's easy to pick apart her. It's not easy for us to cut them off and all the other stuff. It's not easy to critique them because, again, we're not focusing on the actual things that they're saying. We're focusing on the looks and all that other stuff. Like, that is what's important to us. And like, in this age of social media, like, Miss Netta, like, was thrown into this because that was the only way for her to get a platform. Like, she was never going to be able to have these many people laughing with her. Like, y'all are laughing at her. And I think that her responding and her going off and all that is dealing with that. Like, she is a person that is struggling with this instant overnight success and is a person who isn't used to this, like, isn't used to this type of stuff. Like, I will tell folks in a minute, I'm glad that I had a slow come up because I was able to learn my mistakes early on and how to deal with people online, giving feedback and commentary on me. It's to the point now, I've been doing this 10 years, probably 10 plus years, to the point that somebody says something out the way, girl, once I do my video and I say what I have to say, I move on. Like, there are certain videos and stuff, like, I'm not looking at the comments. It's no shade. Like, once I say what I say, I move on by my business. I know how to. Like, I've dealt with plenty, and I just did a podcast about this yesterday, that I've dealt with enough of these things that I know how to just shut down. I'm not on social media right now. Because I don't want to respond. I'm not in a good space. So I know that if I clap back or if I say anything, it's going to be more like angry. I already know that the way I show up and the way I look plays a part in how people consume me and how they see what I say and hear what I say. Like, is it mean? Like, sometimes people will take something, me saying it, as passionate as me being mean, because ugliness is associated with jealousy, meanness, all of this other, all these negative things that, like, it just is what it is. Like, and I have to be aware of that. And Miss Netta, like, is a person who's learning these things. And maybe she will learn it, maybe she won't. But I am looking at the TikTok live. I'm like, okay, this is a lot going on. Like, this is a lot going on. But I'm not interested in going making no TikToks about Miss Netta and y'all see Miss Netta. I'm just not interested in doing that because what? Like what like this low hanging fruit of dragging Miss Netta, like these folks who are responding to it and doing TikTok, they don't care. They do not care. Like they are saying this stuff because it's easy to pick on the weak. It is easy to pick on Miss Netta and talk about her because folks have been waiting for her to say something to prove to the point that they don't like her. Like, it's something about her that I don't like. I don't know what it is. With the something that you don't like is the fact that she is a dark skinned, femme presenting, whatever. Like, people are looking for a reason to say. Yes, Charles have said some stuff that was like, yes, Charles have said some things and checked Miss Netta that made sense, but also Charles was on here promoting some other stupid stuff with a book. Like he very much was giving Kevin Samuels. But now, like, if we talk about desire, like in this moment, Charles benefits more from it, like being masculine and being a cis man, like like he is looked at as the most like desirable in the relationship or whatever. So y'all are going to drag Miss Netta more like than him, to the point that folks will say, why is Charles with Miss Netta? Oh, because she cooks or she does all this other stuff. And it's just because people can't fathom that Charles is attracted to Miss Netta because we don't find Miss Netta attractive. We do that a lot. Like, how often have we seen people do content like we have this fat woman and this very muscular man, and it's just like they do content around, you know, them being in a relationship and they get a following because folks are concerned, like, wow, why is he he must really be in love with her. Like, it's the idea that something that is considered ugly, somebody's finding beauty in it. But we want to say beauty is the eye of the beholder. Like, girl, yeah, sure, sister. But yes, Miss Netta, like, again, is a person that is, you know, learning the internet. And she's learning it in real time with this like massive platform. And my thing is, if people are really like concerned and all that other stuff, they would just block and move on. There's certain folks that are just like block, not engaging, not interested in it. But there's a reason why folks like they're addicted to Miss Netta being bullied. Like they are addicted to it. Now I will say this as I end this video that Miss Netta, love you down, sister. Take a break from social media. Take a break from social media. These people are not your friends. They are not your like family. These are people who are just consuming you. These people do not have the best intentions for you. Like they will watch you crash and burn and move on to the next person. Like you have to log off to protect your mental peace. You arguing with these people 24/7 and cussing them out is not, there are going to be more people that's going to jump up. Like they're going to keep providing commentary. Even if you have 100,000 people who are following you, 1% of those people who do not like you is 1,000 people, and 1,000 people talking and dragging something are able to reach folks who've never heard of you. And that's what's happening. Like people do enjoy Miss Netta for whatever reasons and don't want to be mean to her. There are some people like that, but there are a lot of folks who just like hate watch her. They hate watching Miss Netta like she's a Medea like movie. And they take joy out of seeing her being harassed and talked about and picked apart each and every day. And I have a lot of questions for y'all. Like, what is that? Like, why do y'all enjoy seeing that? Like, I'm not looking for Miss Netta content. Like, even to the point, like, we can talk about the ugliness in memes. Like, every meme that you have, take a look right now of all the memes that people use, specifically the black ones. How often are those memes people who are with disabilities or people who are perceived as not beautiful or undesirable? Look, there's a lot of folks with disabilities that be used as memes. There's one particularly, y'all keep using that one. And it's like, what is the reason for y'all like engaging and using that video? We are laughing at something, but we don't want to say what we're laughing at. There's a reason why certain people like y'all are using Biggie and like the fat folks from Zeus or whatever, like as memes and stuff. Like, it's a reason why we use Miss Juicy as memes and stuff, because like, think about how oftentimes that the memes and the reaction videos we use are actually like some painful things. Like, it's people experiencing like harm or something, even if it was something bad that was said to them, crying, even to the point of like, them existing as a person with a disability is being used as like meme and as a reaction and stuff. Like, this is how we do the people. Like, this is how we discard them in so many ways, even online. But yeah, that's all I got. Miss Netta, find you some peace, log out. These folks are not your friends. They do not care about you. They are consuming to the point that you will crash and burn. Find peace, sister, and find it quickly. That's all I got.